cursed. 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 Cursed.
If I'm the betting man, and I am, and you're rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the redemption year for Jalen Hurts. This is the year we get the bad taste out of our mouths from last season. If I'm going all in, ride or die with a Super Bowl and bringing that Lombardi trophy back to Philadelphia for a second time, you need to go to BetUS, and I'm not wasting any time with it. I'm putting $500 down as the risk and getting $7,000 back at the end of the year because this offense is going to be explosive. This defense by Vic Fangio is going to be dynamic. A 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Click the link in the description below. Start betting and start winning. Yo, what is up, guys? What is up? I hope everyone is doing good tonight. I hope everyone's having a good night. I hope everyone's having a good week. And like I said, we won't see each other after tonight until Friday. So I hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving with your families. I'm not doing shit that day. I'm going to sit. We have no game. We can relax. We can do whatever we got to do. Hang out with the family, all that great stuff. But guys, how do we feel? I mean, Brandon Graham with the triceps tear, which really sucks. I saw that interview with him on WIP today, which was really horrible, man. It's really a dagger to the heart, man. Seems like there was a lot of Eagle fans that had no idea that Brandon Graham was hurt, like, right after the game. Like, no one, I think there was a lot of people that didn't know, and then when they did find out, it seems that really overshadowed this win, losing BG, and it really, really sucks. So can you replace BG? 100% you cannot replace him. But if you can at least get 15 to 20% production from somebody else, I think they could, I think they can at least try to, you're not looking for a game changer. You're looking for a depth piece that can get some pressure, that can, do some good things. So the Eagles have been to work the last couple days, yesterday, today, with some signings. And a big signing today, honestly. I think it's a big low-risk, high-reward type move for the Eagles with the move of Charles Harris. That's 29 years old, 3 sacks, 16 pressures, 11.5 pressure rate, and 20 tackles with the Carolina Panthers. He went off waivers a couple days ago, and I thought he would have been perfect. I didn't think they were going to pick him up at all, and they did. I know they signed a guy from the Commanders, a former 5th-round pick from the Commanders. He went to Dallas, just got waived from Dallas, I think, the other day, so they picked him up. They're working out a guy named Malik Reed. That's 28 years old. He's a outside linebacker / defensive end. He played for Fangio when he was the head coach with the Denver Broncos for 3 years. And he was actually with him in Miami as a member of the practice squad last year. So, a lot going out there. So let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Hope everyone is doing really well. Deep Voice, Jason, Guadalupe, what's going on? Ethan W, East Cannon for life. We have Jerry Fry. We have House Cat. What's going on, man? Tommy 5. What's going on, dude? 125. What's up? Bryce Blackwell. Logan Motorsports. What's up, man? Chris Scott. What's going on? Sean Glenn. What's going on, guys? First super chat of the night. Okay. CT says, I feel like Nolan Smith about to embrace this heavy role. Hearing Nick today, it sounds like Nolan is going to get the load. And I hope he does. Well, pause on that first. Heavy pause on that before anything. But yeah, dude, I know he really didn't do much in the last game against the Rams, but I don't even know how many snaps he had. I know he definitely played a good amount. I mean, Jalix Hunt, unfortunately, I don't know why. 2 weeks ago, he had 23 snaps. Last game, he had 9 snaps. He had 9 snaps in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's not enough, man. It's not enough. I mean, if they already signed 2 defensive ends already, then they really don't trust Jalix Hunt. I don't know why. I don't think he's been given a fair shot in this defense. I mean, I can understand if he had 25 snaps and you downed him to 20, but you go from 23 snaps to 9 snaps. What is that? And Bryce Huffy isn't even playing, and Jalix Hunt's still not getting even more snaps coming in on the fourth quarter. I don't know. Makes no sense to me at all. So this is a really big week. It really sucks. And with Brandon Graham, what he did in this game, I mean, he had such a great fucking game. I mean, it was so good. Oh man, just really a dagger to the heart, man, what happened. This is his best game he's had the last couple seasons, but it sucks, dude. But Nolan Smith, didn't do much last game. I got to look at the tape again. I don't think he did really much of anything, but he really needs to get his shit together. He's having a good year, man, but just has to build off of it, We got Brian Pumper with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says Harris is the best we could have got, even though he's terrible in run defense, which he's 100% correct. All these edge makes me think Sweat is more hurt. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even watch the press conference today, so have we even gotten an update on Josh Sweat at all with his ankle or whatever it was with him? I haven't heard much of anything, so I guess maybe that is a good sign. But yes, Charles Harris is not really good against the run at all, where BG, I think, is pretty damn good against the run this season. And unfortunately now, I mean, look, when Charles Harris was released off waivers, I actually was pretty excited about it because I think, look, we can't pick and choose. We can't be very picky about the situation. You can't trade for anybody. You can only sign off the street free agents, which there's not much there. I'll even read the list if you want me to. There's a little bit of a list for free agents that are, if I could find it real quick. I don't mean to stall the stream, but I kind of want to So the free agents, right? So the free agent targets that are off the street right now. You have Jason Pierre-Paul, you have Rasheem Green, Justin Houston, Kamoko Turi, Shaq Lawson, Frank Clark, Bruce Irvin. Um, and then the practice squad targets that are out there are Tack McKinley, Derek Rivers, William Bradley King, and Boogie Bashman. Okay, with the off the street signings, I get it, but there's only so much we could do. They're off the street because they're off the street for a specific reason. They're not in their prime anymore. We're not trying to sign a guy that's going to be a game changer. You're not going to get that right now. So, you're not going to get that. Beast Guard, 24th of Super Chat. Thank you so much. He said, where's Little Jerry? Who's Little Jerry? Who's that? Who's Little Jerry? Is this like a joke? I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that means at all. I have no idea what that means. But I appreciate the super, though. I'll try to catch your next chat if you explain what that is. I have no idea what that is. Rich says Nolan usually does good against mobile QB, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. Yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna be a tough one this week, no doubt. It's gonna be tough this week, but you got to deal with Derrick Henry. You got to deal with the quarterback and how mobile he is, and he can make a play look like something that he can make a play turn. He could turn nothing into something. Lamar Jackson's good. But there are times where he throws carelessly, getting pressure, and we'll see what he does. But he's like the number one problem I have. But we'll see. Appreciate that. He said Jalen still protects. Jalen's still a project. He's been a safety most of his career. Yeah, he was a safety transition to an edge rusher, and he's a perimeter guy. I think he's actually a guy that actually could. He can cover tight ends. He can cover running backs. I mean, I want to see more of that. James says last major injury to the Rams led to a Super Bowl. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Richie MC says Shaq Barrett not going to happen. Eagles records some other team will claim him before the Eagles can, probably Tampa Bay. Yeah, there's been rumors. I think he said it on the Kay Adams show. So yeah, he said on the Kay Adams show that Tampa Bay could be one of. Oh, I never watched Seinfeld, bro. I've never watched Seinfeld, by the way. That's why I don't know what that is. Shaq Barrett was on Kay Adams saying Tampa could be a potential. He's coming back from out of retirement, so I don't know if the Eagles made a call to Mark Rosenhaus. I think that's his agent as of right now. I'm not really banking on it too much that he's gonna be a Philadelphia Eagle if they can get their hands on him. We don't even know if he's even in shape or what's going on with him, so I'm not really sure. With these guys coming off of retirement, you don't know if they're in good shape, and the Eagles would have to work him out first to see if he's even up to shape, he's in football shape, or I can't say. I can't really feel like he is in good football shape right now. I mean, unless he had this plan for a long time during a certain month on a certain day, he was going to, announce that he might come out of retirement. But we'll see. 125 says, our D is playing well because Fangio wasn't the believer before the bye, but since the bye, our D had been stellar. I love BG and I always loved him, but Fangio is the reason our D is playing well. Oh yeah, 100%. Because you know what? In recent years with our defense, we're just playing heavy zone. We're playing bend, don't break, and that's it. This year's different because I think your defense is more balanced because you don't have the best defensive line in the league, but it's pretty good. I mean, and I think part of it is having a fantastic secondary behind it, and obviously having good linebackers. Your corners are playing out of their mind right now. Well, I wonder if anybody's actually. I wonder if people at this point are getting nervous of Isaiah Rodgers coming in. I don't know what Slay's probably not playing. I mean, that's got to be a grade 2, grade 3 fucking concussion because that looked pretty bad. You know what I mean? I mean, look, he faced Puka Nacua last week. I mean, Puka Nacua is good, man. Like, I really wouldn't shit on him too much. I don't think putting Ringo in there is going to solve any problems either. But yeah, you lost a heart and soul in BG, and Fangio, I think, is making the right adjustments right now, and it's been playing good. So, Tudor wants to join. Let's be honest, we love Brandon Graham, but I don't know if I'd want him back next year. I just think it's 36-year-old tread will be off the tires, at least If that was his final game, he looked great. Yeah, but I think he's coming back. I hardly doubt he's going to retire after this year. The Eagles are going to want to bring him back, and he's not signing anywhere else. But at this point, you know, I think he comes back. And I don't think, I mean, you're not expecting him to have a double-digit sack season. Like, he's at, 3 sacks for the year? I mean, how dominant he was in this last game. He's been pretty good all season. He's been pretty good all season as a rotational guy up there in age. I mean, it's not just his play. Players look up to him, dude. He's a leader on this team. Like, he's very important to this defensive line, whether he's a starter or whether he's a rotational guy. That's just something. Look, if he didn't do nothing this year and he was hurt all year, or something like that, then I can understand. But as a depth piece, I think he's still very good. And I think you got to keep him next year because, look, I think Josh Sweat's going into free agency, so I don't think you're re-signing Josh Sweat. They restructured Josh Sweat's contract, so that's definitely not going to happen. So, got to see what happens after that. Chris says Jay Sweat is completely fine. That's good. That's good. That's what I want to hear. Jordan Keeler said, I told everyone to stop sleeping on Milton's pass rush ability this year. He's a Vic guy, and he's getting the best out of him. Vic wanted me to trade him for last year. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, I totally remember those reports about Vic Fangio and the Miami Dolphins. They tried to trade for Milton Williams last year. It never even happened. Milton's had a great year. He's got, 4 sacks on the year? I think this year. I mean, look, Jalen Carter, we have to free him up somehow, dude. Like, that's one of our biggest problems now because everybody is honing in on Jalen Carter. I watched all 22, bro. Jalen Carter was held in that game. Why aren't these refs catching this guy getting fucking held on a lot of plays, man? Pissing me off. Jalen Carter, man, has got to get freed up, and it sucks because if the DN doesn't win if the defensive end on his side doesn't win the one-on-ones, you have to rely on Milton Williams for that one-on-one. And you know what? It's a good test for him because Milton Williams needs a big contract next year. He's been fantastic, man. Before the bye, everything just looked so off because the defense was they were building every week. They weren't gelled. They looked off, I think we saw flashes of good things, but then we got DeJean in here full time, and I think things started to really tighten up. And then that bye week happened, and boom, that's where we're at, And I think Jordan Davis is actually not playing bad. Like, I don't expect the pass rush for him. I expect him to take on double teams. I expect him as of right now. I mean, I would like him to win some one-on-ones next to Jalen Carter. That would be great. But I expect him just to hold fucking blocks and let these linebackers and other guys, just take over these plays. Kind of fill in the gaps when Jordan Davis is holding his own. And, on the spreadsheet, it's not gonna look good because, you're looking for the big numbers, which I don't think you're gonna get with Jordan Davis this year. So we got CT with the super. Appreciate it so much. Says, I really like Rodgers. It's hard to keep coming in cold mid-game to cover wide receiver 1. Do you think Davis finally plays 50% of the snaps? No, I don't. And really depends on, number one, Jordan Davis isn't going to play he's not going to play much because if the Eagles actually take leads, he's probably going to play less because they're going to want to garnish more of a pass rush. I think Mauro Jomo's been playing really good this year. Thomas Booker has been pretty good as a late depth type guy. So I like our DTs right now. There's nothing wrong with it. So we'll see what happens. Rodgers, I understand that they throw him into a game and they start to pick on him, and that's what they did. But like I said, dude, you're not going to shut down guys every single week. It's not going to happen. As long as you don't give up the big play for a touchdown, like, I really don't care. Rodgers is our best bet right now for number 2. Okay, if Slay is not playing. Okay, I would like for them to shadow Quinyon Mitchell on guys if they could, but I know they're not going to do it. Unfortunately, they're probably not going to do it. So let's see here. Torville said, I think the refs are trying not to call as many offensive holes because the league wants high-scoring games. They tend to call more defensive penalties like PI or defense. Oh, yeah. I mean, the only 2 fucking touchdowns that they scored in that game was off of 2 PIs that were bullshit. One where Puka Nacua was in the end zone, and that was perfect defense by Isaiah Rodgers. And then the other one by fucking Slay, which was a bunch of bullshit. That was a bullshit call. Bullshit call. They didn't earn anything in that game. Those 2 touchdowns they got were off of really 2 bad PI calls. Really bad. Horrible. Bad. Bobby Binsky, he says, can you put numbers and names on the back of the hoodies you sell? How about email me? Email me if you have it. Email me at jkdesilva72@gmail. Email me and I could hook you up with something. We haven't talked about that, but just email me. I'll work something out. Thomas, it absolutely sucks losing that vocal rotational piece in BG. He would constantly be chirping at his opponents all game. As long as it's not career-ending injury, I expect him to run it back. I do too. And it's just a tricep injury. It's not like he's coming off of, it's not like it's an Achilles or an ACL or anything like that. And he came off an Achilles at one point and he went to 22 and look what he did. He had double-digit sacks. I mean, I think that was really surprising. An old guy coming off of an Achilles injury. I don't think any of us really expected that at all, you know? Kenny the Archipelago says, hey there, and how are you doing? And Size, I hope BG gets a big recovery. I praise and hope he's back. Yeah, I hope so too. I think he will be. I think you're going to need him, honestly. You're going to really need him in the rotation next year. So, Drew says a first-round corner might not be the worst idea. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. They're always going to draft an offensive lineman. You need an edge rusher, bro. You can't skip on an edge rusher in the first round next year. There's no way. Unless they trade for somebody, they move back in the draft. I don't know. They trade their first round pick for a young edge rusher that's already has a reputation or something like that. That I could see happening maybe, but you need an edge rusher. You need a tight end. You're going to draft an offensive lineman. You need a running back probably. And depending what they do with Cooper DeJean, what they do with Sidney Brown, because Sidney Brown really needs to play next year. So, you know what I mean? Another nickel corner or something, maybe an inside corner in the mid-round, something like that. I would draft another linebacker late. I mean, I think corner is really the last thing I'm worried about going into the draft next year. So we'll see. We will see. 239 in the chat. Make sure you like the stream and subscribe if you guys have it for Eagles News every single day. Thank you so much. CT with a super chat. Thank you so much, man. Very, very grateful. Says, last one, have you watched any left tackle Overton from Bama? He's a Howie guy, big edge who could play 3 tech. Almost like Milton, but a bit better on the edge. Never seen him, no. I haven't looked at a lot. I've been watching some college stuff. I don't have time to watch college football all year. I just don't have the time for it. I have 2 jobs. It's really tough for me to even watch a lot of players. But trust me, I will be looking at edge players like crazy. I'll be looking at tight ends like crazy. I'll be looking at mid-round running backs. I'll be looking at offensive linemen. Looking at more linebackers this year, you know, depending like the free agency. If they don't re-sign Zach Baun, I'm gonna hit my face against the fucking wall like 20 times and say, why are you hitting the reset button yet again? You know what I mean? Cryptide says, how do we always suffer from big injuries playing the Rams? Get them off the schedule. I know it sucks, dude. It sucks. Fly says, all due respect, why would they go first round corner? We just drafted 2 there. Yeah, I mean, that's why. No, I mean, look, I don't know what Cooper DeJean's future is. Is it inside corner? I mean, the only reason they need him this year because there's no depth behind Cooper DeJean. I mean, you have Avonte Maddox. He's a huge liability. He's horrible. So, you know, you still have, I wonder if they cross-train Sidney Brown or do something like that. I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm hoping maybe they could try something. Like, Sidney Brown needs to play, dude. He can't sit on the bench. He can't sit on the bench, bro. He's too valuable, way too valuable. So we'll see what happens with that. We got Maurice Steele with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He said, what up, Joey? You remember when we played in L.A. and we lost a major player, which was Carson Wentz? Yes, I do. Remember what happened at the end of the season? It was a Super Bowl win, bro. It was a Super Bowl win. And you know what? It's kind of crazy because we're about to find out at this edge rushing position. Look, I'll name some examples. Like sometimes these injuries are a blessing in disguise. When you lost Darren Sproles in 2017, when he I think he had an ACL and I think he broke his arm. I don't know what it was. I know it was 2 injuries. You wouldn't have seen what you got from Corey Clement that year. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have seen what you had with Corey Clement. And look what he did. You know, he was a 1-year wonder, but look what he did that season. You know what I mean? Jason Peters goes out. Who comes in? Halapuli Vaitai comes in, and we never even complained about him once during that season. You know, injuries suck. You don't wish injuries upon anybody, but sometimes it's a blessing in disguise because you see some other players kind of rise up to the occasion. It's a great thing to see, you know, so that's pretty good. What's going on, Iron Mike? Appreciate that super chat, Maurice. Drew says, can draft a corner in the first round on a rookie deal for 5 years, or stick with Slay or pay Rodgers? No guarantee of a stud pass rusher late first round. Yeah, there's no guarantee of a stud pass rusher. They can always move up in the draft. Howie Roseman doesn't sit tight. He's always trying to move up. We know what Howie Roseman, we know what he's capable of in these drafts with extra picks. I don't know if the Eagles have 2 extra second-round picks. I don't know why we're even talking about the draft because we have a season we got to play this year. I mean, I don't mind the question, but, I mean, the draft is important going into next year, no doubt. But a corner in the first round, I'm totally against it. So Chris says edge is definitely the first round pick. Second round will probably be a tight end or a D tack. Yeah, I don't know. Defensive tackle is going to be really interesting. I don't know if they pay Milton Williams. I'm not really sure. You're going to be paying Jalen Carter. And I think with the way Jordan Davis is playing, now a shitty first-round pick, not shitty, but you know what I mean, hasn't really lived up to it too much. Yes, you draft a guy in the first round to be more of a nose, to be a run stuffer. I get it. But I think there's a nice little loophole for Jordan Davis. So if he's still playing solid, you could sign him for less. I think he could be a nice extension for a lot less. So it didn't work out for the draft too much. He could be a little bit better. We'll wait and see what Jordan Davis does later on. But it's his 3rd year now. You know, he's looked okay, but at certain points he hasn't looked great. Look, the whole offseason, how many times do we hear that Jordan Davis was in good shape? He's in great shape. He's in great shape from every person we talk to. And we're like, damn, that's great. Awesome. But then, you know, he gets into these games, and I don't know if he's running out of air. He's running out of oxygen. I'm not really sure. But I think that's a nice loophole. You get a 5th-year option with him, and on top of everything else, you know, you could sign him an extension for a lot cheaper. So, you know, we'll see. Let's see. Patrick, what's going on, man? He says, we only need depth. I think Vic Fangio and the locker room believe in the next man up mentality. Rodgers has filled it nicely for Slay, and Nolan has filled in good for Huff. We're all good. All right, great. No, like, look, Rodgers, I feel more comfortable with Rodgers because he is a 3-year starter. I mean, he's a legit starting corner in the league. I mean, they picked him up off the gambling stuff from last season. No other team had interest. The Eagles were the only team that had interest in Isaiah Rodgers, and, you know, I thought he did really. I think he's done a good job. He's actually done a really good job this year. Fangio will reward players for more snaps, and that's the great thing. Like, Fangio doesn't play favorites. He's not like that. Two Most Wanted says, Joey, what do you think about signing Frank Clark, DT that played for Green Bay? We could put him in there and shift Milton Williams to the outside. Yeah, I don't know. You're really gonna He's off the street signing. He's an off the street free agent, you know, on the street free agent for a reason, and why teams aren't signing him right now. To take Milton Williams out of that DT spot, you have to make sure Frank Clark is going to win his one-on-ones, because if he can't, it's going to be a big mistake, a really, really, really big mistake. So that's why I was talking the other day about putting Milton Williams on the edge, because he could play inside and outside. But the problem is, if you move him to the outside, and you don't sign anybody and just say, hey, you want to just put Moro Jomo isn't going to be consistent, and he's a good rotational guy. Moro Jomo won't be consistent. Thomas Booker is just not. He's the latter part of our defensive tackle rotation, so you're not expecting too much from him. So you really don't have anything there once you move Milton to the outside. So you want to keep him on the inside. You can't really rely on an off the street signing to really garnish that much pressure. And if the Eagles have no interest in those guys, and obviously there's a reason why they're on the street, there is a reason why no teams are going after them right now. Unless we're like really desperate, that's a different story, but we'll see. We will see. Tay says, Joey, what's up? Love the content. Listen a lot when I'm at work or driving. That's a lot of people. A lot of people say that. A lot of people are like, listen. Well, the videos come out early in the morning, so I appreciate you. I appreciate the support, man. So, Logan says, Joey, do you think Saquon will be the MVP this year? I think, and as long as if his touchdowns aren't going to affect him, I think this is. I mean, when's the last time? Adrian Peterson, 2012. I think it was 2012. The last time a running back actually had MVP. I think he's well deserving of it. I think he'll get play of the year from the backwards hurdle, and I think he should get MVP. I mean, realistically, he can get over 2,000 yards. I mean, no joke. I mean, it's insane. It's totally insane. Let's see here. 125 said, I agree. I usually look at the draft when we draft a bad draft. We have a bad season, but right now we're real contenders. I'll look at mock drafts since we win. Once we win the Super Bowl, we got to remember too, guys. When we go into free agency in March, do not expect a lot of moves. The Eagles don't need a lot of moves. Okay, don't go into free agency because the average Eagle fan will just expect that Howie's going to make all these, pay more money to this one and this one. We're going to re-sign guys. Re-signing guys is our free agency, whether we sign them early or by March or whatever the case may be with that. You get to re-sign Zach Baun. I think they definitely have to sign Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton's not going to want to go anywhere. They're probably going to want to try to work something out. Mekhi Becton has got it. He's not going to really there's no way that Mekhi Becton is going to. He could leave and go somewhere, but after what he went through with the Jets, he's like, you know what? I'm in a good place right now. Let's try to work out a deal. Let's try to get something done. And Milton Williams is really the big question mark. I think Sweat's gone, but Milton Williams is definitely the big question mark. So I don't know. I don't think they signed Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. I just don't think that happens. I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll see. Meg Melino friends, Joey, there's an open spot that's available still according to sort. Yeah, there is an open practice squad spot right now. Yes, there's one spot open. I don't know who that's for. They already released a wide receiver. They released a DT that was on practice squad. They released a couple guys. They worked out Malik Reed, outside linebacker / edge rusher. They worked out him, so we'll see what happens with that whole scenario going forward. Green Bean says, from what I'm hearing, is all of our edge rushers besides Josh Sweat are tiny little men who will get ran over in the run game. Hopefully, Jalix Hunt works out. I think they're fine. You lose Brandon Graham, you're going to lose, obviously, a leader. You're going to lose some depth there, especially an edge rusher that's really good against the run. But edge rushers like Nolan Smith is undersized. Jalix Hunt, I think, is fine. It's just he's not playing enough right now. Bryce Huff is not even playing, and he's still not getting snaps. But the first time Bryce Huff was gone, he had 23 snaps a couple weeks ago. Then in this Rams game, he didn't come until the fourth quarter for 9 snaps, which I think is fucking ridiculous. So I guess they don't like him. They just signed 2 fucking defensive ends already. They signed that guy from Washington that went to Dallas. I forgot KJ, whatever his name is. They just signed him. He was a fifth round pick for the Commanders a couple years ago. He just got waived off of Dallas. The Eagles picked him up, and they just signed. They just got Charles Harris off of waivers. Charles Harris, I mean, 3 sacks, 16 pressures, and 20 tackles on a really bad fucking football team. I mean, it's not I mean, that's a low risk, high reward signing. I mean, it's something. It's something. I mean, we can't get picky. We can't make trades. I mean, we got to take what we can get right now. You know what I mean? Let's see. Weezy the Dread Eagle says, "Go Birds, regardless." What's going on, man? Greeby says, honestly, we need to either move Baun or Williams to edge. Yeah, they're not going to move Baun. Moving Baun is going to be a mistake. If you're going to use Baun in game, like sometimes they do the 5-man fronts, they'll move Baun because Baun used to be an edge rusher before he became an outside linebacker with the Saints. So he transitioned to outside linebacker. So they have ran the 5-man fronts, but they're not going to put him full time as an edge guy. It's not going to happen. They need him in coverage, man. That's our best coverage linebacker. Mekhi Becton has gotten a lot better. But here, let me throw in my email. Hold on, let me throw in my email. Somebody's asking for it. Sorry. All right, it's my email right there. CT with the super chat. Appreciate it so much, man. Says, how many years do we give Davis to get in shape? I understand he's not a rusher, but if he could at least play more downs, we would be flexible. Yeah, and I think the problem is he's not playing more downs because they know he's not really great at not great at a pass rush. So I think that's part of the problem right now. And when the Eagles are starting to get leads in games, thank God they are actually starting to get leads in games. They take Jordan Davis out, and they'll get more. They'll put more Milton Williams. They'll put more Moro Ojomo in there. They'll do a little bit more with those guys because they'll get a better pass rush out of that front. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But going to be interesting, man. Going to be interesting. And he just needs to, I don't know. He needs to lose more weight. I don't know. I think he has stayed not the same way. He's definitely lost weight since he's been drafted. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know, man. I think by the end of this year, if he really doesn't, if he's just going to be a run stuffer, he's just going to be a heavy in the trenches that's going to hold bodies back. That's perfectly fine. If he could do that, that's great. We don't have a lot of guys that could do that. Besides Jalen Carter, no one else can really no one else can really do that well. I mean, he's 6, I don't know what he is. I mean, he's a big dude. So they'll get something done with him. We got Bobby Babinski, man. Welcome to the Cafeteria, man. Thank you so much for joining up, supporting the channel. Thank you so much, man. It means a whole lot. Yeah, just email me, bro. Just email me, and I'll get back to you. Jordan Kills to keep on his role he has now. He has 91.5 PFF coverage grade, and it shows. Let him play linebacker and play the 5-man front from time to time. He made a great coverage play from 5-man. Oh yeah, I forgot he had one play on Puka Nacua, right? He had a deflection on him in coverage. I think I don't know if he did again. I'm not sure, but yeah, you can't afford for him to be a full-time edge guy. And the reason why you go into those 5-man fronts is because it's funny because the Eagles got into a 5-man front and the Rams still try to double team. They still try to double team Jalen Carter. So technically, somebody's free off the line. Somebody is free off the line. So if you get into a 5-man front, you have one-on-ones across the board. You have Mekhi Becton for cleanup that behind the line. So you're going to do it sometimes. You're not going to do it all the time. Greeby said, Joe, if we were getting ran over because of our small edge rushers, would you consider moving Milton Williams and accept the fact that he will probably get diced up in the passing game? I wouldn't move him at all. And number 2, none of our edge rushers can go into coverage. None of them could do it. We've seen Nolan Smith on Jamar Chase. We've seen Malik Neighbors on Graham and Josh Sweat. We've seen all this weird stuff. None of these edge rushers, the edge rushers going into coverage thing, I just don't get it. They're not built for it. They're not made for it. And they still do it from time to time. I just don't get it. Thanks to Davis has been a big reason why our linebackers are eating. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, like I said, it's not going to show up on the stat sheet. Like everybody just wants the sack numbers, and it's just not about that all the time. The number one thing we need to try to do is get fucking like we have to get Jalen Carter free. We really have to get him free, man. We really do. Drewster, our defense will have a tough test against Baltimore, but Baltimore's defense kind of weak. I think their corners are really weak. I like Nate Wiggins a lot, but honestly, I think they could throw on this fucking team. Quentin Johnson, how many balls did he fucking drop last night? I mean, how many balls did he drop Monday night? Fucking 3? I mean, come on now. I mean, I think the problem I'm having right now facing that Baltimore defense is that I don't know if you're going to be able to run on them too well. I don't know if you're going to be able to run on them, but it's going to make me a little nervous that if the Eagles have to throw more than 22 times in this game, it's going to be – I don't like Hurts throwing more than 22 times a game because when that happens, usually bad things do happen. We'll see, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I might be overthinking it too much. I thought they did a pretty good job. I thought the Chargers defense did a really good job against Derrick Henry. I mean, he got some yards here or there, but I think they did a pretty good job on him. They were gassed at the end of the game too, so they gave up some, but. We got Duncan Wright, member for 9 months. Thank you so much, man. He says, if Cooper gets hurt, do we have enough depth? No, we're fucking screwed. Plain and simple, we're screwed. And if they have faith in Avonte Maggs playing that spot, we're done for. Like our offense is gonna have to score more points than anything because that matchup is gonna. Yeah, I mean, let's knock on wood. Did you see Cooper DeJean on fucking? What's his face against the Rams? Did you see how tight in coverage he was against Cooper Kupp? He was fantastic, man. I'm telling you, like, I feel like you need to cross train Sidney Brown at inside corner or something. I don't know, but they need to use DeJean in another way next season, like beyond into his future. Like DeJean needs to be like an all-around, move around the defense type player, Swiss Army knife type player. I feel like he's way too valuable, bro. I feel like but the great thing about having DeJean inside corner this year is that remember in all these other years, you can have a good defensive line, and your outside corners, say your outside corners aren't great. They would always move. And if you have outside corners that are great, a bad inside corner, all they're going to do is move their number one fucking wide receiver inside, and then we kind of get screwed. But now, yeah, it's now you're covered. You're covered whether it's against Quinion, against Slay, or Isaiah Rodgers, and then against DeJean inside. It's great. I mean, he's I think the third highest graded corner I think in the league right now. So it's great. Yeah, Dank says he's playing run downs and nobody's running on us. Yeah, true that. CT with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says Jalen Reagor occupied deep zones for our guys underneath to eat. That's how y'all sound defending Davis' lack of production. Well, it just comes down to this, like. What do you mean, Joe? Oh, you're saying in comparison to that? Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how anybody's looking at it when it comes to Jordan Davis, but like I'm not expecting him to get 6 to 10 sacks this season, but I'm expecting him to open lanes and kind of get some aggro and hold some blocks, use him for short yardage stuff defensively. I mean, that 3rd and 1 play, the 3rd and 2, the 3rd and 1 play he had against Washington, that was a huge stop in the backfield. He was a big part of that reason right there. He, like I said, like not going to be a big stat guy. Right now he's not. But he definitely has a lot of value. He's definitely valuable though. Bobby said Big Dom. Appreciate the super chat, CT, by the way. Bobby says Big Dom is there to protect Nick from the Eagle fans. Thanks. I think we can run all over them. Their run defense is good because their pass defense is trash. Let's get Saquon in the passing game. I mean, Will Shipley, man, I think the Eagles are wasting this year, wasting it. And let me tell you something. I give Kenneth Gainwell his flowers when he deserves it. I think we know this. I've been beating on him when he doesn't do much in games, but when he does, hey, look, sometimes if Jalen Hurts will audible the play to a run or something like that, and Kenny G kind of goes in there, kind of finishes them off when the defense is tired. What Kenny G is really good at is, I think if they pass to him in the open field when he has field room in front of him, he can almost make the first guy miss 9 out of 10 times and actually do some good things. What takes him far is his vision. Without his vision, without vision for any running back, he would suck. But because he doesn't have this special running skill set, I think Kent Gainwell, because of that vision that he does have, it takes him really far. Do I really like him as a number 2? I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just not. I do like him as a player. It has nothing to do with him. It really involves how the Eagles value Kenneth Gainwell in general. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. Jordan said they seem to go to the 5-man when they struggle stopping the run or lack of pressure. It shows that Vic trusts his secondary and man when he does it too. They're running man 7th most. No, that's fucking great, dude. You're not, you don't have a typical. See, it seems like Nick Sirianni has wanted this defense to stay in-house, and when he did in the past, it seems like all they would just run is heavy zone. Corners are 8 to 10 yards off their receiver. You're just giving all these free 5 to 8 yards of chunk yards to tight ends and wide receivers. It was just really annoying. But now there's actually like a schematic to it now. Now they actually, Fangio, week by week, as this whole thing is processing, he's trusting his cornerbacks. And I'm glad that they're just not bending. The bend, don't break defense is not happening unless they really don't do the bend, don't break too much. They did it obviously against Tampa, and they did it in that second half versus the Jags, which I don't get why they did it in that Jaguars game. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, I think he's 252. Yeah, he's over 250 pounds. I know Jalen Hunt's over that. Yeah. So Dang says, is he doing what he's being asked to do? That's all that matters. He said, watch Rager take corner and safety for Smitty and Goddard to be open. It happened. I'm not making it up. Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I forgot a lot of those plays, so I was mad in that era. So Kenny the Arcane Pony says, how are we going to stop the Ravens offense? Lamar, King Henry, and Nelson. Well, I think Zay Flowers is I think he's the most dangerous weapon. Yeah, Nelson Aguilar is actually not playing bad for them this year, surprisingly. This is the first time I think we faced Nelson Aguilar. I think this is the first time since 2017 we actually, because he's been to a few teams already. He went to the Raiders for a year. He went to the Patriots on a bigger deal. Now with the Ravens, King Henry, they just have to contain, and they need to be physical and fucking get him down. Lamar, they have to contain him because he's gonna find your linebackers have got to be on fucking point. Because in that Chargers game, there was a few plays where, man, if that linebacker wasn't there to tackle Lamar, whether for a yard or two, I'm telling you, he's gonna go off. But sometimes he's careless with the ball when he has pressure on him. Sometimes he's very careless. Very careless. There was one play he threw into the end zone. It went right into the defender's hands, and he just dropped it in the end zone right in front of him. Zay Flowers is probably the most. Rashad Bateman's good. Rashad Bateman, I think we could defend him well. I think we're physical enough to defend Rashad Bateman well. I think Flowers is going to be a problem. I think he can catch a ball with 2 defenders in front of him, and he can outrun the whole fucking defense. I mean, Zay's good. Zay's really good. So Robert says BG was a big part of the heart of this defense. I'm sick about it. Howie needs to call Aaron Donald or Watt. Yeah, Watt's definitely not coming back. Aaron Donald, I would always wonder if he would, want to come back. That would be awesome, but, probably not, you know. George said, it's crazy to think that Q is playing good, but I think he's still got another level he could reach, not sliding him. Just think it's scary to think he's going to keep getting even better. Yeah, I just think he just has to work on getting the ball in his hands, bro. He just needs to I think he's playing fine. I think you just let him play the way he's playing. If I was to even say one bad thing about Quinyon Mitchell is that he just dropped a lot of picks this year. I mean, realistically, there's really nothing else. I love his tackling. I love his fast break tackles. He gets off blocks really well. Very aggressive. He's very handsy. He's one of the most physical corners in the league. There's no doubt about it. Kind of crazy, man. Oh, is Donald under contract? Did he retire officially? He did, right? He retired, right? 125 says Kenny, we will stop the run with Davis on passing downs. Carter, Ojomo, Williams need to eat. That's true. Yeah, Justin Hill as well. He's another good back that they have. That's the back, right? Justin Hill. Keith says put Cooper as a spy on Jackson all game. I would love that, but the problem is that he can't do that full time in a game, unfortunately. Thanks. Says Don would still be under contract the Rams. Yeah, so you're gonna have to go through fucking hula hoops just to get him on this fucking roster. I mean, do we need a DT? No, but would it help? Like, if they were able to sign Aaron Donald, like if they were able to sign him, I'd put Milton Williams on the edge in 2 fucking seconds. I'd put him on the edge in 2 seconds. I would have no issue with that. I don't know. You guys are fighting if he's on contract or not. I have no idea. Got to lock 4 in Guantanamo Bay. We have some merch coming out soon, guys, by the way. I'm actually going to... Hold on. Where is it? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me If you guys have not voted on the poll, definitely vote on the poll if you guys have it. I appreciate it. Donald signed a 3-year deal in 22. Elliott Petotsky, what's going on, man? It's been a long time, bro. Hope you're having a good night, dude. It's been a while. Thanks. Says Aaron Donald is one of the on the books till 25. Oh, forget about it now. Yeah, Joey. Yeah. Justin Hill's a running back. Yeah. So if Donald's under contract with the Rams, if Rams were to waive him, Eagles would be one of the last teams in the waiver order. No way it happens. Yeah. That sucks, dude. Yeah, plus they're in NFC. So Thanks says Aaron Donald was on the Rams. They won a Super Bowl, you idiot. I'm hoping no one's talking to me. I don't know if I said anything wrong. I don't think I did. Okay. All right. I just wanted to do that real quick. So we're good. Okay. No, there's no Aaron Donald. I don't know why people are even talking about. I don't know why people are even talking about Aaron Donald. I mean, you lost Brandon Graham. You got a lot going on right now. The main thing is you don't need to do you don't need to do anything more with your defensive line right now. You don't need to do anything else. Shark with the super chat says, "Would you do live call-ins on here in the future?" I like doing them, but I'm afraid to do them. I'm afraid to do them because people are like idiots and they could ruin streams and do some stuff that can make your stuff not monetized, and people like to ruin things for everybody. I definitely want to do one. But we'll probably, hopefully, I've been thinking about it. Trust me, I've been thinking about it. I'm always procrastinating on it, but hopefully we'll do one soon. Hopefully. Oh, it's bro. I'm finishing up my senior year of college, going to Syracuse for grad school, studying sports. Oh, dude, that's fucking sweet, bro. I hope you do really well. I hope you do really well. I feel like I've known you since throughout your whole college. That's awesome, man. I feel so fucking old right now. But all right, I was making sure. It's like I was just making sure. Yeah, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, definitely join it. I know Philly has one. Yeah, Philly has one too. Definitely join up. Everything's in the link. Anything to support me or follow me on anything, everything's in the link below. Everything is in the description. Kay said, like the Ravens, used a bit of Henry and a bit of Justin Hill. And if you look at the game that Ravens play on Monday, they use Henry and they use Hill. So yeah. CT said, argue with someone, it's going to be about football philosophy, not idiocy. Jordan says, I haven't enjoyed watching the Eagles play defense like this in a long time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has been much better the last 3 weeks. I feel like he brought back the swag and heart back to this defense. Well, it's not even that he's never had swag. It's just some of his coverage play was really lacking. He missed a lot of tackles. He was missing tackles. He really wasn't himself. I think he knows that. He kind of said that a few weeks ago. So I think Chauncey's been fine. Reed Blankenship's been fucking great. I mean, I've talked so much shit about him. I've talked shit about Dean. I've talked shit about Nolan Smith. Trust me, I get it. I get it. Deep Voice says, do you trust the D-line against Lamar and Derrick Henry? They scare me. They got to be scared of us, bro. They got to be scared of us. I really want Jalen Carter to get. I'm really hoping to God they don't double Jalen Carter all fucking day. If Jalen Carter can get free in this game, I think we'll have a lot better chance, But we'll see. Mark said, "Hey Joey, how he really scored with Cooper and Q. Add that with Saquon. This is gonna be fun for a while. Oh yeah, dude. Saquon Barkley has been worth every fucking penny. Every penny. Every penny. East Camp for Life. Rams officially placed Donald on the reserve retired list in July 24. Elliott says, since day one, Joey, ride or die, baby. Let's go. Subscribe back in 2020. I feel old as hell. Damn, it's a while. 4 years? It's crazy. Appreciate it, man, so much. Dank says, I was wrong. He's not under contract, but he's not coming back until from retirement anyway. Yeah. Tudor wants to Joey. I think the safety Hamilton from the Ravens is going to try and kill us Sunday since we drafted Jordan Davis over him. Apparently, he came out and said he was for sure Eagles were going to take him. I don't give a crap what these guys say. Does not matter. Great. Fine. Let him have his revenge. Let him try to have it. He's got a lot to worry about in this fucking game. He's got a lot more to worry about than just this slight bit of revenge that he has because he wasn't drafted to the fucking Eagles. Whatever. We have to start looking at ourselves and saying we're pretty fucking dangerous. I know every week we're always nervous. We're always not afraid entirely, but this has been a build-up season, man. The Eagles are 7 straight games right now, 7 straight wins. They're fucking hot right now. The only issue that I could say that they really need to fix is these fucking first quarter, first halves, these plays that they're running. They need a faster start, and you can't play from behind the entire game. I think that has been the biggest problem. The biggest problem that really pisses me off is those slow fucking starts. It just pisses me off a little bit. One who finds that the Ravens are the toughest opponents on our schedule, but we're also their toughest opponents. We need to play a clean game. I like our DTs versus their IOLs. I like Q. Oh, quarter. Wait, who? Oh, Flowers. I like Saquon. Yeah. No, I mean, I think we match up pretty good too. When it comes to trenches, I think they match up well. Do they have is their linebacker playing? He didn't play with a hamstring. What's going on with him? The guy from the Bears, what's his fucking name? I forgot his name. But he had a hand. I don't think he played in Monday. He didn't play Monday, did he? Thanks. Says I think Saquon is officially underpaid after the backwards hurdle. Who's getting paid more than Barkley right now? Is it CMC? He's getting paid, what, like 19 a year? I think CMC's getting paid like 19 a year, I think, isn't he? Yeah, Hamilton should worry about his corners. Yeah, that's definite. And when you have Saquon lined up, dude, I mean, that's another defender in the box. That's like 8 in the box. And then, if it's play action or something like that. I really love how they've been working the play action off the runs, dude. Remember last year they would run play action, they would run play action for no fucking reason last year. They would run play action for no reason last year, of not even running the football last year. You know what I mean? I hated that shit. Entirely hated it. Roquan Smith. Yeah. I heard he had a hamstring. George says, hopefully Vic is preaching containment this week with the option ability of Jackson to keep it. Wonder if we'll see more 5-man. Potentially, he's got to be, like, Fangio's got to be on point. He can't play it safe in this fucking game. Not that he's going to, but he's going to have to do some blitz packages. He's going to have to run some stunts. He's going to have to run. I really want him to run some stunts with Milton Williams and Jalen Carter. I really want some stunts being run in this game. We need Carter free in this game. We really do. Deep voice of Tiki Barber was giving Saquon praise in his podcast. If he gets to 2,200 rush and 700 yards after catch, he could win MVP. He might not even need 2,200 yards. And the problem with him is he's been robbed like 13, 14 touchdowns this season because he's ran the ball to the 1-yard line. So that's a whole nother thing. Greeby said, I just got 2 hours of sleep. When Brandon Graham got hurt, I was devastated. I'm scrambling in my mind. How can we recover? I'm not sure teams won't just bully is now in the run game. Yeah, and that's what you miss with Brandon Graham because he's really good against the run. If Fangio is good at adjusting, and they didn't waste any time. After that game, they signed like 2 defensive ends, and potentially they have an open practice squad spot right now. So most likely they'll fill in that spot with another edge rusher. They signed that guy from Washington, that KJ, whatever his name is. He's a 5th-round pick for the Commanders. He's on the practice squad. He went to Dallas. He got waived. We picked him up. They just signed Charles Harris, and he's not that bad. He's just not great against the run. He can pass rush. Charles Harris, a former 1st-round pick. He's 29 years old. He's a vet. You're bringing a vet into the building, which is good, which you really need. He's got 3 sacks, 16 pressures, and 20 tackles for the year with Carolina on a really bad team. So he's not, I'm not expecting Charles Harris to come in and be some fucking game changer. Look, you can't trade for players. You can't trade for anybody. Like, you can only deal with what you can deal with right now. You can't do anything. You can get off-the-street signings, or you can't do much. But we need to fucking light it up on Sunday. We really do. We really do. Des Morris with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, hope they reboot Friday the 13th and cast Joey as Jason. That would be great. I need to get in better shape for that character, though. But that would be a dream. CT says, appreciate super chat, says, let's bring in Chandler Jones, and him and Carter can be the ultimate crash outs with John Jones. Chandler Jones, do you know what happened? Like, have you seen the Chandler Jones videos that happened in the fucking offseason this past offseason? Like, the guy almost like commits suicide. I don't know. Like, he was on some weird shit this offseason. I don't know if the Chandler Jones thing, I don't know if you remember, but he was going through some stuff, man. He was going through, and he's old too. He's got to be over 30. He's got to be like fucking 32, 33, maybe. Appreciate the super, man. Thanks. So that's why Saquon is running to the end zone so much. Yeah. 8 guys in the box, man. Boom, and he's out, and he's done. I'm done. All it takes is one bad. He gets that second level, bro. You make one wrong move. Oh man, he's gone. He is fucking gone. So let's see what happens, man. I mean, look, they're good against the run. I don't think they're corners. I think Nate Wiggins is a grabby fucking. I think Devontae. You just scored 37 points without Devontae Smith. I mean, Devontae Smith should be back this week. I haven't heard anything on Devontae Smith. Henry isn't better than Barkley because he can't catch. Well, he doesn't have any receiving yard. He has what, 15 receiving yards? I don't even think he has that much. I don't think he has that much. They got to make sure they get hands on him. They have to wrap him up tight and get some gang tackles on him. They just got to make sure they wrap him up. I thought the Chargers actually did a pretty good job against him, honestly. Toops, I really believe Sidney Brown is in a weird spot with us because obviously he's good enough to play, but we kind of have our future set up as starter safeties. It really depends what happens. Okay, once Slay leaves, depending if they sign Isaiah Rodgers, Sidney Brown, I don't think is going to be a safety. You're going to have Chauncey for another 2 years. You have Reed Blankenship for one more year after this year because he signed an extension this past offseason. And depending what they do with DeJean is probably going to be the biggest. I think that's the wild card, really. What do they do with DeJean? Do they draft another nickel? Do they try to cross-train Sidney Brown to nickel? Can he play that position? I'm not really sure. Oh, he is. Well, I mean, before, Derrick Henry had 96. Yeah, before going into, I think before, so he 96, really? I thought he had a lot less than that. Did he have a big catch in this game? Because I thought he had a way less than that. But like I said, I think the wild card is really DeJean and where they want to put him. I mean, inside corner is not an easy position to play, and not everybody, and not a lot of guys can play that, you know. Jordan said you could definitely tell Kellen had control of play calling this last game, seeing more and more under center with actual runs, setting up the mid to deep passes. Yeah. And they finally were getting crossers, and they were, when Jalen Hurts is holding onto the ball for too long, it's because there's no check down available, and there's no route going middle of the field. That's the only way he's holding onto the ball for that long. Or he's missing somebody wide open. That pass to the end zone, we were at the 10-yard line or the 7 or something like that. That pass to Johnny Wilson that literally went nowhere. I mean, you had Kenneth Gainwell sitting on the fucking flat, like literally sitting there. He had all this green in front of him. Probably would have scored on that. Probably would have been a scoring drive right there. I mean, at least for Kenneth Gainwell on that play. Yeah, Sidney Brown might be casualty simply by unfortunate circumstance. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Don says we should give Jalix Hunt more snaps and get him acclimated for the playoffs. Same goes for the guy we just signed. Oh, yeah, I mean, Charles Harris is definitely going to get reps. I mean, if Jalix Hunt comes out of this Baltimore game with no more than 10 fucking snaps, then they really don't want to use him. Like, I want to see the snap count coming out of this game against Baltimore and seeing, like, is Jalix Hunt getting more snaps? He did. I mean, Bryce Huff was already gone, and he had a 23 snap game, and then he had a 9 snap game in the fourth quarter. That's all he had against the Rams. It's kind of nuts. GOK says, your thoughts on Charles Harris? You think Vic will form him into a better player? I'm not sure. He's not great against the run, but he has a pretty good pass rush. It's not bad. He's done pretty good on a bad team. I think he's really stood out on a bad team, so that's good. He's 29 years old. He's a veteran. You're hoping, sure. I mean, look, if he could pull in, like, at least, like I said, like 20% of what Brandon Graham's productivity, I'll be happy with that. I'll deal with that. I'm not expecting him to come in and be a game changer because we're not replacing Josh Sweat. We're not replacing a starter. We're replacing a depth guy. That's what we're really, replacing right now. You're not going to replace Brandon Graham, just like you didn't really replace Jason Kelce. But, do I think, Cam Jurgens is on the level of Jason Kelce? Definitely not, but he's fucking solid. He's really good. He needs to do this for a few more years and be this consistent. Yeah, it's a yellow jacket for him, down the road, no doubt. Torvald says Sidney Brown has the physicality to be a good safety, but the jury is out on him when it comes to knowing his assignments, covers. Well, I don't think the jury's out on him. I mean, you're really going to compare last year to this? You're really going to compare last year? I mean, last year was a fucking disaster, bro. You changed defensive coordinators within the year. Sean Desai even being a bad defensive coordinator that shouldn't even been a defensive coordinator, didn't deserve that job. And then you switch over to Matt Patricia. You give up 22 points to fucking 30-plus points by the end of the year. I mean, there was no sense of urgency. The fucking defense had no attitude. They got pushed around. They got fucking exposed. They felt like they gave up. I mean, they just gave up they gave up by the end of the year. They were done. They were finished. They didn't play good all year. That whole team didn't play good. They were the worst 10-1 team I ever fucking seen in my life. They were winning close, ugly games. You know, like, I feel like if they get to the Super Bowl this year and you have this potential rematch with with Kansas City, if that's going to be the case, if the Bills don't go in, I think the Bills have a good shot of winning the AFC this year. But if they go and have that rematch, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is. I don't think he's playing good this year. They're winning they're just getting out of some games. A fucking against Denver on a fucking blocked field goal. I mean, they're just squeaking out of fucking games over and over and over and over. And Detroit's playing well. A couple weeks ago, he had Jared Goff had a 5-pick game. They only scored 20 something points on the fucking Colts. I mean, like, some teams get hot way too early. Like, we were not hot, but we were like, we won a few games, and then we had some bad games, and then we had the bye, and then we fucking won 7 straight. So, I mean, we've been the goal is there with this team. They're not listening to the outside noise. They're just doing their thing, Deets, I think we should bring in Sue again, put him at a DT, and put Milton at the edge. If that's what they want to do. I don't think Sue, I mean, even when Sue was with us last time, I don't think he got in the backfield a good amount. I mean, I don't know if they're going to go down that route again. It's up to Vic Fangio now. It's all up to Vic Fangio now. It's a totally different story now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he might not fit what the Eagles do. He might not like Adamaka Sue coming in. So who knows? CT with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Says, does Johnny Wilson take wide receiver 3 next year? Good pick. Rub guy. He'll get a PI. Call regularly in a matchup nightmare for safety nickel corners. Next year, I don't know, man. Wide receiver 3 is one of the weirdest positions because you trade for Jahan Dotson and do nothing with him. I mean, you've done nothing with him. I mean, it was nice. The one thing I take from that Rams game I actually really liked is that they got everybody involved, or they tried to. Like, they threw to Dotson. Dotson had a first down. It wasn't a great pass on the flat because he had to go out and get that, turn around, and go upfield, which is great. But Jahan Dotson, dude, like, he doesn't cost much for this year. He doesn't cost much for next year either. He's like $3.5 million against the cap next year, so he's very affordable next year. I don't think they have to touch wide receiver. Johnny Wilson, though, for red zone, short yardage, I think he's great. I think he's learning. I think he's getting better. Maybe he has to work on, maybe the ball placement has to be better for him. Maybe the chemistry is not fully there yet. I don't know. But Johnny Wilson, that's almost 6'7", big frame. I mean, the last guy we had his size like that was Tyree Jackson at tight end, and he was like, man, we tried so hard to develop him, but man, the guy just couldn't stay healthy at all. Couldn't stay healthy at all. Another big receiver we had, lengthy receiver, the guy from Florida. What's his name? The guy from Florida that we got? And I think he was undrafted, I think. I'm not sure. I think he was undrafted. I forgot his damn name, though. And he was just hurt too much, But having that size, dude, and he can stay healthy and he can get better. I mean, he'll be a big fucking weapon for us, dude. If he's a situational weapon in the future, great. Is he a starting wide receiver 3? I'm not really sure. We know that Britton Covey's back now, so they had him lined up in the offense a couple times, but he's obviously the full-time punt returner now, so at least he's gone. At least DeJean is going off the punt return, so that's good going forward. I don't know who Linval Joseph's playing for. He's playing for the Cowboys, I think, now. Trevon Grimes. Yeah, that dude. Trevon Grimes. That was another guy I was like really excited for. Yep. I remember. That was another guy I was really excited for. Jake says, Jordan Davis will manhandle Derrick Henry. Do you remember the last time we played the Titans when Henry was still there? Yeah, I totally forgot about that, bro. Didn't Nakobe Dean have a nice tackle on him? Dotson a bust? I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I know Dan Quinn said he was lazy and like he expected the job, and there were certain things said from Dan Quinn about him. I don't know. I mean, honestly, guys, going to that Washington game, I'm not really a big, besides Scary Terry, which he wasn't Scary Terry at all. I mean, De'Amni Brown, Noah Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus. I mean, they're going to get better. I mean, they have a lot of cap space. They're just going to get better. They don't have to pay a quarterback. Washington is just going to get better over time. They're going to get better because they don't have to pay a quarterback. So they already have a lot of cap space still, like I said. But as for the receivers for this year, nothing. I don't even think I'm not even afraid of Washington. I never was afraid of Washington's receivers at all, but because we feel more comfortable now, we're going to say, oh, our linebackers, great. Our corners are playing fucking great. Miles says this is the eye test game. If we can beat the Ravens at Baltimore, then we are for real. I still think that Jalen and his ability to go get the ball to open targets will kill us. Just let him play, dude. Let him be him. The only thing I worry about this game is that if Jalen if they can't run the football in this game and Jalen has to throw over 30 times, I don't know. I don't know if I'm not feeling comfortable about doing that. Just a little bit. I'm not really comfortable with that at all. Let's see. CT's, if people call Aguilar a bust, Dotson is a bust, just keeping it fair. Yeah, pretty much. Realistically, he had 2 bad seasons. Nelson Aguilar had 2 bad years. Then he had a great year, Super Bowl year. Then they picked up his 5th-year option. He had a bad year, drops, bad year. We had no receivers that fucking year, I don't think. That was 19, I think, right? I forgot what year that was. Then he signed with the Raiders, had a really good season. Then he had a big contract with the Patriots, and he played okay. Didn't play great, but didn't play, bad. And then got to the Ravens, and he's been okay. So he's been to like 4 fucking teams. It's like his 4th team, Yeah, it's been his career's been a lot better than what it has. It's been a lot better than it was. Skeleton says Eagles versus Ravens is a mirror match. See, they said, agreed, Dank, but most would disagree. Des said, did you guys forget about who Jalen is or something? He's really him, man. Has never missed the playoffs yet, and that's even before Saquon. Shaking my head. I just, look, like, there's going to be times where he misses wide open guys. There's going to be times where he holds on to the ball because of certain play calls, and there's no safety blanket down or he could throw it down. Like, it's going to happen. Like, every quarterback does this. Like, it's just let him fucking play the way he plays. That's it. The only thing that pissed me off in that Rams game was the fucking keepers. Like, I can't stand these fucking quarterback keepers. He's getting hit way too much. I think you need to tone down on that. Miles says, will Slay play against the Ravens? If he doesn't, Rodgers is toast. Oh, that's not true. I mean, Slay was getting fucking toasted in that Rams game as well. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. He got toasted pretty good in that game as well. You're not going to be shut down every fucking matchup. Like, you're not shut. I mean, it's like these guys can't play perfect and shut down every fucking receiver every game. It's not going to happen. You're going to lose some. It's going to happen. This is a good team you're facing this week. I thought they faced a pretty good offense last week that was pretty healthy. This is the first time the Rams were healthy all year. Devoid, Saquon's 255 career night was better than any Cowboys. Bradberry had 253. Damn. Elaine says, Joey, was there any word on Daniel Jones? Apparently, the rumors are with Daniel Jones. Well, he's obviously released now. So the word on Daniel Jones from him, apparently it says he's eyeing, quote unquote, zeroing in on one team right now. That's it. Other than that, that's it. But nothing else. Dank says Jalen actually had the lowest depth per target. He said, no one mentioned how well Jake Elliott played. He's back on track and we could try. Oh, yeah, no, I was happy. I was like, I actually went to the game forgetting the whole thing about Jake Elliott, what happened the game before. And he actually did well. He was down the middle every time. He was really good. Really good. So he had a really bad game. That was just a really bad game. Green Bay said, imagine Vic Fangio is such a genius. He signed Daniel Jones and moved him to defensive end, got 96. Dank says, yes, he all good, just passionate. Jalen doesn't have a big play every game. Jalen doesn't have to play big every game. Just when it matters, lean on Saquon. Jalen will come big when it matters. Yeah, that's all they have to do, bro. Like, take what the defense gives you, check the ball down. Just let these like the short passing game is my favorite because you can get yak yards. You can get yak yards with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. You have to work up to those big fucking moments, those big plays. He does, and you notice anything in that? Did you notice in that Rams game he didn't just slant to AJ Brown downfield because he didn't have to, because it was unnecessary to do that. AJ Brown had the quietest 100-yard game I've seen all season. I mean, that was a quiet game. Like, it was just so quiet. It was like all of the attention was on Saquon that entire game. It's like he quietly got the 100 yards. Didn't even seem like it, But he didn't throw the ball downfield. It's great. I mean, there's sometimes he does it and it works, and sometimes he does it and it just whatever. They try to get a flag, whatever. But I'm happy they just didn't gun it downfield and waste a play, doing that, Dank says, it's crazy that I would sign Jones' backup next year. I mean, he can kind of run. He's used to handling it off. But to be honest with you, I would have no issue with signing Daniel Jones as a backup because I think he would be a massive upgrade. It wouldn't shock me, dude. It wouldn't shock me. Okay, if Daniel Jones is successful somewhere else as the Giants are a fucking disaster. I mean, come on now. How many first-round bust offensive linemen have they drafted? They've never had a number one receiver. They haven't had a good tight end. I mean, they've had nothing over there. They've had nothing but one good fucking generational talent. They couldn't get the most out of him because the rest of this roster was horrible. They literally just built around a fucking running back. The Titans were building around. You don't build around a running back and never have a good quarterback. That's just never going to fucking work out. That's why the Titans are where they are right now. They had all this money, and they still look like shit. Baun versus Mark Andrews will be something to watch this game. Q speed on Flowers, hopefully as long as Flowers lines up on the left side. It's going to come down to coverage. It's going to come down to getting pressure, and I'm hoping they can get pressure on him. I'm hoping they can. Ron said, I get when Jalen throws 30 times, chance of us losing goes up, but isn't that the problem? Hurts is my guy, but we won't have Saquon forever. We need him to progress as a passer eventually, don't we? I think he's progressed fine. I mean, how much more are you looking for? Like, he doesn't have to throw over 300 yards a game. Like, I don't know why that's like a stat that he needs every game. He doesn't need to throw over 300 fucking yards. Like, that's the whole point of it. Like, the less he does, the better we are. He can throw the fucking deep ball. He can work up to those big fucking plays. He doesn't need to throw 300 yards a fucking game for us to be like, okay, he's more of a passer now. Like, who gives a shit? You know, like, last year, like, we're squeaking by fucking teams and we were fucking celebrating. Like, now we're actually dominating fucking teams now. And, like, we're still bitching about this fucking quarterback not being more of a passer with a 3-down back in a fucking game. Like, we don't have Saquon Barkley for another 12 years, but I mean, who cares about that? We have him for this year, next year, third year's an option year. Like, I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Elliott says, Joey, my favorite thing about the Birds is that they prioritize the offensive line. No matter how bad the team was, we always could look at the O-line like, damn, I know and plus all of the depth that you have is great, you know. Philly says, I believe we can go into Detroit and best the Lions. Not interested in the Ravens, but I expect a win. I expect to win out. Yeah, we'll see what happens, dude. Like I said, like, if they win against, I think they can win against Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's got a good defense, but I still think they could win on them. But I think this is our hardest game of the year. This is our biggest game of the year. Every game is our biggest game of the year, but realistically, like, when it comes to where where are we at as a team? The coaching has to be good. Coaching has to be heavily involved here. Run the football with Saquon Barkley. I want to see if we can run on this fucking team. Honestly, I want to challenge that. I don't give a shit if they're good against the run. I don't care. I think they can run on this team. I think they do. I think we're underestimating ourselves because of stats. And if we can't, then we're going to have to rely on Jalen. And then it's really going to be up to Jalen not to fucking throw, get turnovers. And if Jalen gets into the 30 range and passing, it's not great. Then if he does well, then great. If he doesn't, there's going to be, the one thing I don't want to do is put because of what you do early in the game, like, don't do stupid shit early in the game that's going to make you put the game on Hurts later on. And that's where, like, I get worried a little bit. You should always keep Jalen between, like, the 16 to 22 range when it comes to his passing, at least, like, the most 22 fucking passes. He goes above that. If he's going above 22, that means our run game is not working or, we've turned the ball over. I mean, regardless of what it is, but. C-Tay with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, people are obsessed with Brady and Manning. Jalen will always have a run game as long as we have that line. Jalen plays big when he is asked to. Yeah, and he's clutch in those moments. He's clutch. Work up to those moments, but I'm telling you, like, Jalen barely has to do anything. And when he decides to throw that ball fucking deep and then that's where things fucking turn up. I mean, really turn up. But they really have to get a fast start in this game. They cannot fucking go down. And I don't even want to kick 3 fucking points, dude. Like, I don't even want to kick 3 fucking points. I mean, whatever. If they do, they do. But they need a faster start, man. Faster start. Because guarantee you, if the Ravens beat us, we got exposed and blah, blah, blah. And I think this is a good team. Trust me, if this was fool's gold, I would have told you this already. This is a stunning fucking defense. One of the most balanced defenses in the league. One of the best secondaries in the league. I mean, they're the number 1 defense since the bye week. I mean, stats are stats, but they got to be ready to play on Sunday. All that's not going to matter if they don't play up the pawn on Sunday. So that's where we're going to be. See, Taylor, the super chat, people are obsessed with Brady and Manning. Jalen will always have a run game as long as we have that. Oh, yeah, I already read this. Appreciate the super chat, man. Yeah, Philly says, I love to use the fullback with Saquon, especially late in the game to close out games. Yeah, so they haven't really used it the last couple. They used it very late in this game. I think they used it like once or twice. It wasn't much. The last few weeks, they haven't really used Ben Van Simmer as the fullback as much. They really haven't used it as much. So we'll see. Chris says Reddick only has 0.5 sacks. So he had a half sack in the first game he came back. That sucks, man. So Reddick's a free agent after this year. Reddick decided again. I saw the reports a week or two ago. Reddick, since the Jets are playing horribly, he's like, nope, I don't want a long-term deal with the Jets because I don't want to be a part of this bullshit now. So now he's going to become a free agent after this year. So, you know. Oh, it says the record is going to be broken and we will have a running back as MVP, bro. I hope so, bro. Dank says, that's exactly what I said, Joey. Ravens run stats are good, but we don't play stats. No. Well, the coach does. Sometimes. The Jaguars game they played the stats. The fucking, not the Giants game. The Browns game, they played the stats. Didn't work. Jalen Hurts outgunned Mahomes. I've seen it. We all saw it, bro. We all saw it. Jordan says, Eagles O-line should be able to handle the Ravens line. Just watch the blitz. Jordan and Lane have allowed 15 pressures combined all year. Just keep running the ball. Teams can't stop it. No, like, I don't care what the analytics say. If the analytics say, oh, don't run the ball that much, dude, I'm running the fucking ball, dude. I'm sorry, but we're continuing this shit. We're not straying away. And I think the one thing we have to agree on, remember last year, in recent years, if the run game is not working, they stray away from it. But I like how if the run game is not working, say like Saquon gets the ball up the middle a few times and he's just hitting a wall and he's getting like 2-3 yards, something like that. I love how this coaching staff is they're not giving up on the run game at all. They're not straying away from it. It's great. I like how they're just keeping on top of it. And you got to thank Lane and Jordan Mailata. That bye week changed everything because Jordan Mailata, Dickerson, Lane Johnson, they went into the office. They're like, dude, we have a stud in this fucking backfield, and we got to use him. You know what I mean? If that didn't happen, who knows where Saquon Barkley would be right now? Like in his yardage and the success he has. We don't know, but that bye week was a fucking turnaround, game-changing week. Game changer week. You know? It's crazy. Torvo said Covey had a great block that allowed Saquon to take one of those runs to the house. Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't even remember his block, so I don't know. But that's great, though. It's awesome. It's awesome. Rollins, I'm not saying it's a bad thing right now, just that the less we ask Hurts to do, the better. What if Saquon goes down and we need him to throw 30+ a game? I just want him to be elite. Yeah, look, like if the run game's not working, yeah, sure, we're gonna pass more. But like it is what it is. Like things happen. You know what I mean? If you're down Saquon in a game, yeah, it's gonna be a big blow to the offense, no doubt. But you have your second option, your third option. You still have a fucking tremendous passing game. And you have tight ends. Look, like, teams got to worry about Devontae Smith. Teams got to worry about A.J. Brown. Teams got to worry about Dallas Goedert. Teams got to worry about Saquon Barkley. Teams got to worry about Hurts with the ball in his hands. There's so much they have to worry about. You know what I mean? But let's get into the what ifs when they happen. It's a what if. Let's just get into the what ifs when the what ifs happen. Like nothing's happened yet. You know what I mean? They keep doing what they're doing. We could talking what ifs is just like, okay, I think they've handled his carries pretty well. And even the doctor, even on I think the one of the post games, I think the doctor talked about Saquon Barkley and how he handles himself with all these like, how do you handle a running back that carries the ball like he does every week? And he just said that Saquon's just a strong dude. Like Saquon knows how to medicine his body after every game and through the week and how to treat his body. It just depends on how you treat your body throughout the week. I got afraid in that game because he hit his nuts. I thought like he messed up his ankle or his knee or something. I thought something happened in that game, but he got hit in the fucking balls. So whatever. Yeah, hitting the balls, that sucks. Anyone's been hitting the balls long time ago, but don't ever want to go through that in a football game. Whoever wore a cup in football? Not me. Never wore a cup in football ever. ever. Eagle Clip says, I like everything about the offense except I want to see more unique route combinations. Yeah, like, look, I think sometimes if Hurts is holding onto the ball too long, I know there's nothing in the middle and there's no check down available. There's nothing there. Everybody's downfield, still running a route, and Hurts only has so much time. 3.5 to 4 seconds is way too much time at times, you know? Joseph Becton playing well, and it's his first year at right guard. Not sure what he'll want, but maybe he'll want to stay here because he's played his best year and said how awful the Jets were. Oh, dude, like I can't imagine Mekhi Becton playing somewhere else. This is a first round talent at 25. Was he 26, 25 years old? I mean, he's young, dude. Hasn't even hit his fucking prime yet in age. Mekhi Becton, bro, is like, dude, like, he loves this team. I remember that game. I forgot what was it, the Brazil game where Mekhi Becton was like, I don't know. So he went up to Jalen Hurts and the mic'd up. He was like, I don't know, man. Something about you. He's like, I don't know. He said something about like his swagger's intoxicating or something. He said something of that nature in that game. Like, yeah, dude, like Mekhi Becton, I think theoretically, if Lane Johnson retires in a couple of years, I think they could put Mekhi Becton at right guard and Tyler Steen can go right into that. Sorry, he can go into right tackle for Lane Johnson once he retires, and then they can put Tyler Steen in that right guard position. I think Tyler Steen's going to be a good player. I need to see more, but I think, when he took over, when Mekhi Becton had the concussion, I thought he played pretty damn good. So give it time. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. See, they said Jalen has spoiled fans with winning. You know what it is, dude? I think what it is that I think people watch way too many fucking videos. I think people listen to way too many fucking either there's content creators that say different things or it's NFL media people that say a lot of different things. And they show video of things and people get nervous and people just like, it's watching media, dude. It's watching the media that's making people like, oh, I don't know about this and I don't know about that. Like, trust me, I don't really watch too much stuff. I just see what I see and I just say it, I say it how I see it, you know? Last year was a different year because they were winning all these close, ugly games. The Eagles never had a dominating fucking performance in one game last year. They didn't score 30 plus in a game last year, ever. That was concerning, but we were winning. So who cares? When you're winning, you're just enjoying the fucking ride. Who cares? You know what I mean? That's what you do. And then all this other shit happens, it sucks. What if I says Philly said probably, but our best running back. Oh, hold on. Dewad Jones says Lane was seeing what Barkley was doing in close practice. We better run the damn ball. Barkley running, O-line knows one whole house call. That's all it takes, dude. I mean, you throw to Saquon Barkley in the flat, and that Cowboys game. Remember he threw to him at the flat. He made two Cowboys run into each other. I mean, seriously, he went from the fucking 15 to the fucking 1. I mean, dude, it's just. Throw to Kenneth Gainwell in the flat and throw to Saquon and see how many yards you're going to get more out of a player. And what I've really liked a lot with the run game is that they've actually fucking threw screen passes to Saquon. That's what I've wanted. A screen pass to Saquon Barkley, not a tight end screen. I'm talking like a middle screen, just a regular running back screen with Saquon. That's the shit I've been dying for those plays. We don't get those a lot. CT, I've been watching him forever. I'd live outside Tuscaloosa. Jalen hasn't changed mentally at all. No one play drives him winning. Does he would take a backseat if he felt it was best for winning? Dankbird says only great back they went against was Nick Chubb in the first few games. Yeah, dude, they have no fucking idea, dude. They have no idea. We need to start growing. We need to start growing some fucking balls and telling ourselves we're fucking good, bro. Yeah, the Ravens are good, but you know what? It's going to be hard winning this first seed because regardless if the Lions lose a back-to-back game against Green Bay or against the Bills, They still need to lose a game against the division, in the division. I don't know if the Eagles are going to have the first seed. That's going to be tough. Like, because of the tiebreaker, they still need to lose. They need to lose a game, and they need to lose a game in general, and they need to lose a game against someone in the division, unfortunately. And I don't know if we need to see if that's going to be the case. I don't know if it's going to be the case, but we'll find out. CT said, I appreciate what Slay has done, but this would be my last year paying him. Oh, 100%. I'm pretty much done with him after this year. It's time for some young blood to come in now. It's time. Appreciate everything he's done. I've bitched about him, trust me, but he's been a good corner for us. So, Eagle Clip says, does anyone else notice how Hurts plays like a demon when playing against other elite QBs? It's true. It's true. Thanks, says that's why I watch Eagles media teams to see the true vibes. What if hey, did you hear that Nick Wright has picked the Eagles to reach the Super Bowl and the NFC, saying he would miss the playoffs for most of the season? Yeah. Well, he's either trolling on purpose to like laugh at them later on. I don't know what he's doing. The Eclipse says we are very lucky to have Hurts, who is very clutch. We could be stuck with choker like Dak. You want to talk about a team with fucking problems? That team's got fucking issues. That team's got issues. 125 says, Philly 416, you're right. We don't have a great edge rusher, but the Lions don't have a great defensive end since Hutchinson is out. Yeah, it's true. They're able to. The Lions lost. The Lions didn't just lose an edge rusher. They lost a fucking game changer. You're talking about the TJ Watts. You're talking about Aiden Hutchinson is a fucking beast. He was close to double-digit sacks early in the season, I think. That game, I think the last game he played in before he got hurt, I think he already had 2 sacks in that fucking game by himself already. Sucks, man. That was horrible for him. That's a game-changing fucking end. I mean, I mean, look, trust me, like, we know what BG means to us, and he had a really good game, you know? But obviously, both of these players are way different, okay? They're way different. But losing BG we're talking about a depth piece, but we're talking about a leader. And we're talking about somebody that everybody appreciates and really, he's the heart and soul, But that's not going to stop us, though. I saw all the players tweeting at it yesterday or this morning. We're with you. We're with you. We're with you to the end. We're with you. Like Chauncey was like, we're with you until the wheels fall off. Like, they're not going to let this put their season down, Thanks is only worried about the number 1 seed. Yeah, when it comes to that time, yeah. I mean, we're literally, look, at the end of the day, all we're trying to do right now is win a division. We're 3 games ahead right now. We still got a lot of games left. We still got to play the division again. You know what I mean? We still got to play Washington again. We got to play the Giants again. We got to play the Cowboys again. You obviously have the Cowboys, Giants, like the last 2 games of the season. So you want to win that. You want to sweep Washington. You want to get that under your belt, of course. But you got to win this game this week. You got to win this game this week. If they can get by, they get by this game. You have the Panthers. They're not great. What you really want to do is you want to give as much effort as you can in this Ravens game. And then in this Panthers game, you're going to want to get in and out of that Panthers game as fast as possible, get a big lead and sit all your starters, let these guys rest. And then you get ready for Pittsburgh. And then after that, then you just have to really, really worry about Washington. And that's pretty much fucking it. That's it. Eagles Clips said Detroit has Packers, Bills, 49ers, Vikings left on their schedule. Oh, yeah, they do have the Vikings. Right. We can get that first seed, but we need to keep handling our business. Yeah, I know. It comes down to us at the end of the day, dude. I think of the first seed when it's like middle of the season. Beginning, I don't really care. But now it's like you start to see like, what's happening with all these other teams. Necessarily, there's teams that look good beginning of the year, and maybe they're starting to fall a little bit, but they're still winning, but they're barely winning, It depends where you're at. You know, I don't think the Vikings are world beaters. I don't. I don't think they're world beaters. I think we would fuck them up, honestly. I think that quarterback would be in a body bag by the end of the game, honestly. I think Sam Darnold would have issues with us and our defense. You know, I don't care who they have. They can have Jordan Addison. They can have fucking Jay Jettas. It doesn't matter. I think they can rattle that quarterback. I'm not really worried about that too much. They got good weapons, obviously. So they said it's fun to enjoy this team again. It's what we should be used to by now. Yeah, you know. I said when that downfall happened last season, after they lost to the 49ers last year, they got bullied. They got literally they took our souls away. If we lost against that Cowboys game, the next game I was going to turn to a different fan that nobody was going to like, and I promised people that, and nobody liked it. You know, people like the record. Everyone gets blinded by a record. Everyone gets blinded by like, oh, we're only 10-2. Oh, we're only 10-3. Oh, we're only 10-4. You know what I mean? Everyone gets blinded by it. You know, we get into the playoffs, didn't change anything. You know, Nick couldn't give play calling to anybody. Like it was a fucking joke, dude. It was a joke. You know. Yeah, I don't know if they're beating the fucking Bears, bro. I mean, I would love for them. I would love for the Bears to beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. If they could fumble a game like that, that would be fucking awesome. That would be awesome. Because I was imagine if Q gets his first pick on Lamar. I'm waiting. He almost had one against the Rams, so he was a little late getting to the ball. He was almost there. Pissed me off. See, his Rams had the pass rush for a long time with a guy inside and good contain ends. That's how we're built. Dank Bird Gang says, I think we'd work. I think we would do. I think it'd be a good matchup, but I think they've never faced a defense like ours at all. You know, Bobby Binsky says Minnesota fans are worried inside knowing Sam Darnold is the QB. Yeah, I mean when fucking JJ Redick or not JJ Redick. I mean what's his fucking JJ McCarthy comes back. What are they gonna do with JJ McCarthy when he comes back? That's his name, right? JJ McCarthy. Is that his name? JJ McCarthy? I think that's his name. That's going to be a tough decision to make. You know? Or Sam Darnold might get a job somewhere else. He could have a job with the Giants. The Giants are going to have a veteran quarterback next year. The Giants are going to draft a quarterback. They're going to sign a veteran. They're trying to find out right now is who's their backup. They're really trying to find out if Tommy DeVito is their backup. Drew Lock is gone. They're not going to do anything with him. What they're showing is they're not going to do anything with Drew Lock. DeVito, they're going to see if they're going to be their backup next year, and they're going to sign a veteran, most likely. They're going to wait they'll probably wait a couple years and try to get Archie Manning or something like that, you know? Eagles Clips, I feel like the Ravens game comes down to stopping Henry and containing Lamar. Definitely should be a challenge, but I trust Fangio to scheme up a nice game. Yeah, I mean, I want Jalen Carter free in this fucking game. I want Jalen Carter on some stunts to get him free. I want these edges to contain linebackers downhill. I mean, you're gonna have Rashad Bateman's a great contested receiver. I think we can handle him. Zay Flowers is like the number one guy for me besides Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield. I think they can contain Henry. I think he'll get his yards here and there, but I think as long as they tackle him good and bring him down, Jordan Davis should really help that a lot. I think Jordan Davis would help that tremendously. I think in the past, we have faced Derrick Henry, so I think we've done a pretty good job against him. But they got to tackle low on that fucking guy and bring him down. They can't let him break tackles. And it's weird, man, because on TV, it looks like he's not even that fast coming out. Like when he gets the ball in the backfield, it's when he hits that vertical output going upfield, and then that's where he gets to another shift of speed, I want us to be all over the fucking place. But I want Jalen Carter to get free in this game sometime. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we'll see. Well, we got 257 to chat, guys. Appreciate everybody being here today. If you guys haven't checked out the Philly Shakedown store, the Philly Shakedown store is online. It was online since another week ago. We now have hoodies. These are high spring cotton prints, guys. These won't fade. The sweaters won't fade. The hoodies won't fade. The prints won't fade. This is from a guy we know personally that actually has his own business in Florida. that does this for a living, okay? And it's not cheap shit. You can wash it 6 times. I have 10 to 12 shirts that feel brand new. The prints don't fucking fade. They don't crack. They don't do none of that. If you want usually these will ship 7 to 10 days. If you want to get it shipped earlier for a certain day, for Christmas, we're gonna have sales. We're gonna have sales for Christmas and all that stuff. I don't know if we're gonna have anything for Black Friday. We're probably gonna have sales for Christmas, most likely. We have something in the works that's brand new. We have a couple things in the works right now, but we have hoodies now, which is great. So there's different colors. Some of them are just black and white because of the designs, and some of them look a little bit different. So if you want something, it's there. Click the link in the description or the link in the live chat for the Philly Shakedown merch. We're working really hard to put out some really good stuff. You get what you pay for, guys. It's really good stuff. Trust me. I will speak to anybody that has bought stuff from us. We've had thousands of people buy stuff from us, and people have really liked the merch in general. So definitely check out some. We have some new stuff coming out really soon. So we have shirts, we have youth t-shirts, women's, we have everything. So definitely check out all of that stuff if you guys haven't. Link is in. Just put it in the live chat just now. So definitely check it out and order up, and you'll have your stuff. And if you need it sooner, just apply for better shipping, and we'll send it to you a lot faster and sooner. So, all right. Where we at right now? All right, an hour and 49 minutes. Okay. Troll said, if we end up playing the Lions, we should consider letting our cornerbacks travel. We should put Q on Williams and DeJean on St. Yeah, it would be great. They just don't do that, though, unfortunately. They don't really do that at all. I would love for them to shadow, just like, what was it, like 2 years ago? Remember we faced the Vikings. I actually went to that game. It was a Sunday night game. I forgot what it was. And they had Slay on Jay Jettas the whole game. And he only had like 40 something yards. I would love to shadow guys, but they just don't do it. Sucks. It friggin' sucks, dude. George, I feel another monster run game. They want to show the Ravens who's the best running back the league is. Yeah, I feel like it's like a little like a weird, like it's gonna be some like big secret inside competition of who has more rushing yards. I think Saquon is gonna he's gonna do better than Derrick Henry this season. I think our schedule probably favors a little bit better than theirs. But I think Saquon's going to run with the rushing title. I honestly, guys, I don't really even care about that. You know, if they can win a Super Bowl and on top of having that, that's great. You know, but we'll see. We'll get updates on Slay. We'll get updates on Slay. We'll get updates on see how Josh Sweat's doing. Apparently, he's fine. You know, and I can't wait to see Charles Harris. I can't wait to see the depth and how many snaps these guys are going to get on Sunday. Jalix Hunt, I want to see what they're going to do here. Bobby says, thinking BG had a great game because Carter got double teamed. That should open up Nolan Smith now. Well, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully. I want to see Nolan Smith get after it, especially against fucking Lamar Jackson. If he rushes to the outside for some reason and wants to fucking scatter out there, Nolan Smith can go toe-to-toe with him with his speed. So that's what we're hoping. Use his athleticism a little bit and do some other things. After the Ravens game, it will be the Panthers. Yeah, like I think once you're going to be tired coming out of this game. Like they're going to go to war with this fucking team, and hopefully they come out with a win. They come out with a win. Are we home against Carolina? Are we Scooter Magruder's awesome. Yeah, I like his videos. Are we home against Atlanta? I don't even know. Deep voice said, I didn't think this Barkley signing was going to be like this. This might turn out to be the biggest signing in Eagles history. May surpass the Terrell Owens signing. It's generational, bro. It's generational. You come into a team that has weapons and an offensive line, a top 3 offensive line already. I mean, that's just, like, it's crazy, bro. We're home against. Oh, cool. We don't have to. So we're not on the road. So we're only on the road 2 times, right? This is our first time on the road, and then another. We're on the road this game, and then one more game, and that's it. We're home the rest of the way, right? Or no, we're not traveling, I should say. All right, yeah, we have to go to the Commanders, right? Right. At least we don't have to fly anywhere. That's good. Versus Ravens blitz most in the league, run the ball and pick on Wiggins. He's been the weakest link in their secondary. Blitzing means man to man. Good luck with that. With age, yeah, dude. If they play man to man, bro, and Wiggins is a physical corner too, man. If that's the case, and they're gonna catch themselves off guard. They're gonna catch themselves off guard totally. Yo, it's the Italian stallion. It's Anthony Trapito. Anthony Trapito is my boy. I know him personally. He says Barkley playing on arcade mode. He is. He's playing on. Yeah, he's fantastic, dude. You know that saying our expectations were high, but holy fuck. Our expectations were high, but holy fuck. Like, that's pretty much what it is, dude. Yo, what's going on, Loyalty Houston? Says huge game for y'all Sunday, bro. It is. It's a big game, dude. I'm excited. I'm going to be pumped. I don't care how they get out of that game. Just win. I don't care how they get out of that game. They play a bad game. It's gonna be a back and forth, man. It might be. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Thanks to Redskins don't exist. They don't. The Commanders. Nathan says this is the real test this week. Very similar teams. I think we got it. Yeah. 425 game, bro. One, 2, 5. The Anthony in your dreams. The division is ours to lose. And don't mind Anthony Trapito. I literally know him personally. I used to work with him. So he's a fucking Chargers fan. So he's a fucking Chargers fan. He's just trolling. He's a fucking Chargers fan. All right, so let's go over the poll. Will the defense struggle without Brandon Graham? Let's end it. And the results. 407 votes. No. The Eagles will not struggle, 68%. And yes, at 31%, the Eagles will struggle. So, all right. 68% is pretty good. Pretty good. I want to see what everybody thought of that. I wanted to just check it out. Dynasty Joey, what percentage do you give the Bears beating the Lions? Not much, bro. 40% probably. I mean, the Lions would have to play a really fucking bad game. I mean, a really bad game. But we'll see. Clayton says, is Nick getting fired even though they're doing good? No, he's definitely not getting fired. The big question for next season is what the fuck's going to go on with Kellen Moore? If Kellen Moore resigns as an OC, great, but I feel like he wants a head coaching job. And obviously he's not going to be a head coach here. So they're not going to get rid of Nick Sirianni. They're not going to, I mean, as of now, they're not. The players believe in him. They cherish him. Chris says 2%. They'll get some plays. They're not that bad, but they're bad. I mean, 40% is not great. So, average is not a conference game through, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not a conference game, which sucks. Yeah. But getting that loss, if they can lose to the Packers, shit, we'd have first seed. If they can, we got to be ahead of them, obviously, record wise. But if they lose a division game on top of it, they need two crucial losses. They need a loss in general, and they need a division loss. That's what they really need. So we'll see. But obviously, I have friends that like other teams. They text me every week, and they only say unbelievable after the Eagles get. Oh, dude, I get that all the time. Oh, just like Anthony in the chat, he always texts me, like, "Yo, Saquon Barkley, oh my god!" Like, you know, I get texts from everybody, dude, Saquon, dude, Saquon. I swear to God, dude, it's swear to God, dude, it's crazy. I get texts from people that like barely watch football when they have time, and like they're fans of other teams, you know. But Kenny says, Joey, it's like, oh, let me check the cheat menu, up, down, left. Okay, Barley, do your thing. It's like the GTA. It's like the GTH, the easy GTA, like Vice City, fucking cheat codes. See, Dave, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson game-winning pick against Lions. Love to see it. That'd be great. Oh, yeah, dude, that'd be great. Eagles Clip says, love BG, but I think Jalen Hunt steps up big time. If they give him the snaps, they gave him 9 fucking snaps in the fourth quarter. That's what I'm saying. The first, when Bryce Huff was out, when he went for the surgery, he had 23 snaps. Great. That's awesome. And then why do you put his snaps all the way down like this? What the fuck is that, dude? I'm hoping if they don't give him, I'm going to look at these fucking snaps. If they don't give him, I'm telling you, it's going to be like, then they really don't like Jalen Hunt. I don't know. Or they just don't think he's ready. I don't know. How do you find out, dude? You got to find out. So we'll see. We got Bobby Babinski with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Nick is the 4th highest winning percentage coach. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he's had winning seasons. He's had winning seasons every fucking year he's been here. So, respect on him for that. Damn, Jordan says Ravens allow 350. If you can keep a team under 300 yards total offense, that's great. You know? You're talking about their defense? Oh, their defense gives up 355 yards a game. That's crazy. 9th worst in the league. Holy shit. Damn. Dude, we should have a fucking day. I mean, I watched their fucking corners against the Chargers, and I wasn't even fucking, and you're not, shit. Quinn Johnson, he fucking dropped like 3 balls last night. Move Carter to DN for a drive. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that. That's definitely, then they're just going to run down our fucking throats. Trova says, I think the only Thanksgiving game will be worth watching is Green Bay and Miami. Yeah, probably. Yeah. The Cowboys Giants game is I don't even know who's going to win that game. I guess Dallas is going to win that game, right? It's really special time for the Birds right now. Never seen anything like it. Dude, I know. I feel so good every day. I wake up and I'm like, man, it feels so good to go in the right direction, you know? But I really want to fucking win it, dude. I want to win it so fucking bad, bro. Oh man, like I really want to win this shit this year. I really do. I'm like praying to God we do. Pray to this coaching staff and pray to these fucking players to stay healthy the rest of the year because I think we really fucking deserve it. Yeah, I didn't know the Chargers had Jalen Reagor, bro. I didn't even know they had him until I saw him. I was like, oh shit. Ravens give up 2nd most passing a game. Jesus. Ravens O-line played good. Do the Chargers, who do they have on their, besides Bosa, besides Joey Bosa? Who else do they fucking have? Who else do they have on that D-line? I don't even know. KJ Henry, I'm not really sure about. He hasn't done much. He was a 5th-round pick for the Commanders. He went to Dallas, and then they waived him, and we picked him up. But for Charles Harris, it's going to be interesting. Thanks. It's funny being a sports fan around people who don't follow sports. They don't understand how much emotion is in being a sports fan. Yeah, like I hate being around, like, it's not that I hate being around people that don't know sports, some like that don't know like when they say something stupid about, like, when I meet an Eagles fan, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I don't mind casual fans. I don't. There'll be somebody I meet and they're in person and they're like talking football and then they talk about the Eagles and they say some weird shit about them and I'm just like, oh yeah, by the way, I have to I got to go somewhere. Like sometimes I hear some, like, I'm like, dude, what are you on right now? Sometimes people say some stupid shit, like, and they don't even know, you know. Trevor said, I would watch Dallas Giants game if I thought the Giants had a decent chance of winning, but the Giants are even worse than Dallas is. Yeah. Well, yeah, because Tommy DeVito is just a fucking statue. Like, that guy holds onto the ball too fucking long. And Dallas's defense actually plays pretty fucking good. They got Jordan Lewis back. They actually got some players back. So I think they're just gonna get the Tommy DeVito the whole fucking game. Dane says we are the Storm. Who? Who is PFFT? Who the fuck is that? Isn't Tui Tupelutu? Is that Tupelutu's brother that we have at DT? His brother plays for the Ravens, right? I think that's his brother. That says, yeah, it's true and fans say nonsense. Not even Eagle fans. Like when I talk to somebody that apparently knows like every roster and they say like something stupid about the Eagles, I'm just like, no, but all right. I mean, if that's what you believe. Tommy DeVito is hot ass. They asked for apologies. Says KJ has potential, especially with Vic in charge. First game he had got 2 sacks. When he was drafted a couple years ago, wasn't he? Torville says, look at it with a half full glass. The Cowboys will have a worse draft pick. Yeah, pretty much. When Dallas beat Washington, that was the biggest surprise. When Dallas beat Washington, great. Dallas could probably, who knows? Dallas could win probably a few more games this year, And then they say, we're going to have $100 million in cap space. I heard that shit yesterday. I'm like, is that even possible? How the fuck are they going to have $100 million in cap space? I don't get that shit at all. What podcast did I watch yesterday? I didn't even watch it on purpose. It came across my feed. It's the Low NFC East podcast. It was Mark Holmes, Capizzle, Bad Dog, and some other Cowboys fan. It was on this Cowboys YouTuber's channel or something. And they were talking about just both their teams and stuff. I love Bad Dog's awesome. Bad Dog is like one of my favorite creators. I've known him since probably the Super Bowl year. I've known him for a long time. Not personally, but I've talked to him a lot, and I've done it. I think I did a show with him a couple times, years ago. I think. Not Mark Holmes, but the other guy was like, "Oh yeah, we'll have $100 million cap space." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, bro, "Oh yeah, we're gonna pay Micah Parsons and yeah, Game Time Brian, yeah, that was him, Game Time Brian. We're gonna have $100 million cap space." I was like, "The fuck are you guys what? The fuck are you guys talking about? Fucking $100 million fucking cap space. The fuck you guys talking about? Fucking people are, I don't get it." Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know how that's the fucking case. Yeah, the cap goes up, but it's not going up that fucking much. Bobby said, I think it's funny when some of these streamers don't even know the whole raw. Like, for me, like, I know most of the roster, even on practice squad, most of it, there'll be, like, maybe 2 or 3 guys. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, that's, yeah, like, that's, like, the worst. Plus, my girlfriend, my girlfriend knows a lot more because I know a lot more. So she knows most of the roster. Without me, she probably wouldn't know much of anything about the roster if it wasn't for me, honestly. Joey, you and Game Time Brian because he is a realist. I've watched some of his stuff. No, he's very real about stuff. I'm checking the Cowboys cap space right now. How much cap space they got right now? I want to check this shit out. The Cowboys have. Fuck is it? Oh, this is wrong. Wait, what? Oh, this is right. Cowboys have 20 million. It says the Eagles have 10 million. How do the Eagles only have 10 million? This isn't right, is it? Eagles have 10.5 million. I thought we had like 24 and a half. I think that's wrong. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. 49ers have 52 million in cap space. Yeah, the 49ers are leading the pack with 52 million in cap space. Well, that's going to be gone because they're going to have to pay their fucking quarterback. That quarterback, I don't know how much fucking Brock Purdy's going to get paid, but that motherfucker's going to get paid. That guy is going to get paid, bro. Trust me, if Dak can't get to a fucking NFC Championship game or even get into a fucking Super Bowl and Brock Purdy has done both, he's going to ask for more than $240 million. That's for damn sure. Chris says 25 million. Goes up to 80 next year. Really? I don't know if this is right then. I don't know if this is right. How do the Panthers have the lowest? That's what I don't get. How do the Panthers have the lowest cap? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is fucking right. I don't think that's right. Let's check this. Yeah, it's 20 million. That's what they have. Interesting. Interesting. I guess we have 20. Yeah, that's weird. We have that there's no way that's fucking right for us. I don't know. I must be miscalculating something. But I think we're going to have like north of like 32 million next year. But realistically, what do the Eagles have to do in free agency next year? Realistically, all they have to do is re-sign guys. Like our free agency next year is re-signing Baun, re-signing Milton Williams, re-signing Mekhi Becton, re-signing. They're not going to re-sign. I don't know if they're going to re-sign. If they don't re-sign Milton Williams, that's going to be a hole. That's going to be a problem. That's what I'm saying. They're going to have to rebuild this defensive line. Not rebuild it, but they have Jordan Davis, obviously, but they need somebody else. Jordan Davis, they need to draft somebody else. Not first round, but like second round or something. I don't know. But I would rather pay Milton Williams over Josh Sweat, honestly. I would, because I feel like they could bring somebody in. We'll see. But we'll see. Joe Hopkins with the super chat. The Cowboys are at least 2 years away from even thinking about competing with us. 2 years? Dude, they have a mess of things, bro. I mean, sure. I mean, they're gonna, depending what their draft pick is, they have offensive line issues. They don't have a fucking running back. They need another fucking receiver. They have a tight end. They need DeMarcus Lawrence is getting old. They need another edge rusher. Micah Parsons, I guess they're gonna pay. Who knows if Micah wants to go back to fucking Dallas? Who fucking knows? Who knows? Did Smith get paid or age? They both got paid. Yeah. They both got paid. Fucking Devontae Smith literally took way less money. He was he got paid early. He took like way less money. He didn't even care. He wanted to get paid. He wanted to give money to AJ. The Eagles locked up both of the. You have Devontae Smith for another 4 years after this year, and you have AJ for another 3, I think. They're locked up. And then they have Jahan Dotson for 2 years. They have him this year and next year, cheap. So I'm not worried about that. Barkley's cap hit this year, it's between like 3 to 4 million. I think next year it's like 5 to 6. I think it's like 6 million, 6 point something million next year. It's nothing, dude. It's nothing. Cap got adjusted because we signed Daniel Jones. Yeah. Why do we have $10 million in cap space? I don't get that. 10.5 for what? We had 24 and a half. What the fuck did we spend on? So does that 10.5 rollover if you don't spend it? I think it does. Yeah, it should roll over, which should give us 32. Yeah, I think that does make sense. Because then we'll have that the numbers actually make sense because we should have north of 32, 33 million next year in cap space. But realistically, you need $10 million for your draft. So a draft costs about $10 million for each team. So you got to take $10 million off of that. Bradberry selling Dippin' Dots next to Nick's hot dog stand. Load say, hey Joey, by the way, I follow your TikTok. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I put up all my reactions for live streams. I put on TikTok. Everything I put on TikTok. So most of the big reactions I do that are worth watching. Rashad Bay with the sewer chat, appreciate it. Says we might need a new tackle if Lane retires. I mean, the bold move they should do right there is, depending if this is what they want to do, if they want a future right tackle, if they want a right tackle in the next couple seasons, they know Lane is retiring, you re-sign Mekhi Becton and put him at right tackle in a couple years and put Tyler Steen at that right guard spot, if that's what it's going to look like in a few years. But Mekhi Becton could play left tackle, he could play right tackle, he could play right guard. And you know what happens what happens when a player on the Eagles offensive line plays a position, especially at that guard spot. If you're playing right guard or left guard, you're playing great. They barely fucking move you. He's locked up until around 2. I don't know. What does he have left on? He's a free agent after this year. He would have been a free agent after this year, or was it next year? I don't even remember. I don't know. I don't understand how they have 10.5. That's what I don't get. The Cowboys have 20 million right now, and they wouldn't give Henry 10 million. I mean, realistically, they signed somebody. I forgot who it was, but it was like 2 weeks after 2 weeks in the free agency. It was like literally after 2 weeks that they signed somebody. It was like, dude, you guys are late to the fucking party. They had no cap in the offseason. They had no fucking cap. They had nothing. And Dak literally put them in a fucking chokehold all offseason. I don't know what's with this, the backup quarterback. I don't know what's with these Cowboys, and they get into these fucking games, and they put in what's his face for like a play, like Keep forgetting his fucking name. Yeah, the QB runs are not good. They're not great. Thanks. The QB runs are nice. Yeah, I think they overuse it too much, but we'll see. But yeah, but I think that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. I mean, we did a stream, so I want to do a stream before Thanksgiving at least. We usually stream Tuesdays and Fridays anyway. If you guys haven't subscribed, we have 221 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys have it. Like the stream if you guys have it either. I do appreciate it so much. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the memberships. All that great stuff. You guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. Just relax and just enjoy the week. I'll have videos out the rest of the week. We'll have a stream on Friday. We'll have our normal shakedown on Saturday. We'll have our live play-by-play on Sunday. The same old usual stuff we do every week. I'll have a video out tomorrow morning. I'll have a video out on Thanksgiving as well. If you guys want to watch, you can watch it. If not, don't worry about it. But we'll be ready to go. Ready to go. All right, guys. And if you guys have it, like I said, make sure you go to the Philly Shakedown Podcast merch and check out some of the merch. We have hoodies now, high quality stuff. I promise you get your money's worth out of it. They last a long fucking time. So check out some of the merch here. And we have some new stuff coming out soon. More stuff coming out soon. Just remember, it takes 7 to 10 days to receive if you do normal shipping. When you check out, there are shipping upgrades. So if you need to have it for a certain game, a certain week, something like that, need it for anything like that, just make sure you change the shipping cost. But the hoodies are up now, and we'll have more hoodies out. We have something that's almost done right now. We have another thing in the works right now. So we have 2 more pieces of merch coming out that I think you guys are gonna really like. And you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. You guys enjoy it. We all deserve it. Be with your families, watch football, and just do whatever, because I'm just gonna chill. I ain't doing no content on Thursday. I ain't doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. I want to sit and be a lazy bum all day. That's it. Have a couple drinks, chill out, all that great stuff. And that's it. So you guys have a great Thanksgiving. You guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys on Friday, pretty much, for a live stream. But we'll have videos. So, all right. I will talk to you guys later. Remember, shakes what up, fly will fly. Peace out, guys. Peace.